Welcome to the Real Board Loft. I'm Trip Foreman, and this is the Pyzel Nugget. The Pyzel Nugget falls in the mid-range of hybrids in the Pyzel line, and it's a really good all-around board for surfing, I would say, bottom of the barrel waves, all the way up to good punchy head-high beach breaks. So in the Pyzel range, specifically with the hybrids, I'd say it's the one that has the most range. Great single board if you're looking at other boards that are out there, like a let's say like a Rusty Dwart or a Hayden Hypto Crypto, like a Lost Rocket or a Lost Mini Driver, and you're looking at the Pyzel range and you're saying, hey, what hybrid do I get that's going to cover the most range? This would be the board that you would want to look at. It has a little bit wider nose and it has a flatter entry, although the nose is narrower and has more rocker than the Pyzel Rat Skull. The Rat Skull, if you remember, it's more bulged out up front and it's flatter in the front, which is going to make it real extreme for groveling and better suited towards full-on groveling. This board has a wider hybrid nose, but a little bit more foil on the rails and a little bit more nose kick. And then it carries that wider width the whole way back through the board into a nice round tail, or a very, very, very rounded pin. There's really not much of a pin back here, so I guess you could just call it just a round tail. This board, I've heard this board also be described as a step down board for the Pyzel Shortcut. The Pyzel Shortcut is John's board for heavy slabbing barreling waves, and then when that person wants to go down into like an everyday board, this would be like the natural choice to look at. This board, great all-around performer, great paddler, really good paddle speed as far as like tracking down a peak or getting into the wave. It's going to be able to handle anything from like your basic summer mush groveling up to, on the better days, if you have a good wind swell or a good ground swell come in and you need a board that's going to be able to hold better in those conditions. It'll also work well for that. A lot of times if you have one board that's going to cover everything, a lot of times that one board doesn't really work well in any of them. That wasn't the case in this board. I actually found it to work really well in almost everything I surfed it in. The Rat Skull at the very, very, very bottom of grovel will work a little bit better than this board, and then the Shortcut will work better like in really punchy hollow surf, but everything in between that, this board covers the full range and is a great single board to surf. With the Nugget, it does have a little bit more tail area, and so you could ride it as a thruster and then also a quad. The quads that we have in here are the Futures Roberts Generation series, and so these have a ride number of between 7 and 10, and they've got an inside foil on the side fins here. They're going to help you generate more speed. So being that this board, I was riding it from summer grovel up to punchy kind of summer surf, great fin choice for this board. I rode it both as a quad and as a tri. It worked really well for both. Initially, I was riding it pretty much thruster the entire time, but I ended up actually kind of really dialing into, specifically as well with this fin set, I really like the feel of this fin, the sizing of it, and then also the quad sizing of it, like the front to back sizing, and ended up working really well for the bottom range of this board all the way through good surf as well. So quad works good. Quad's going to liven it up a little bit in softer surf, and then also the thruster's going to work well for just tight pivotal pocket turns, like up and down on the wave. And then also on the better days that we got a chance to ride this board, the quad definitely did hold better, like on the steeper faces and steep drops and right into the barrel of the wave. This board it just has great range. Like, it's got a good, confident feel to it. In riding it, like, there's really kind of nothing that it didn't work in. And a lot of times, again, like I said previously, like there's a board that's supposed to work in everything and it doesn't really do it. I think this board actually does a great job of having a very wide range of use. So if you're in a situation where you just want to have one board, or you just want to travel with one board, or if you just have the budget for one board, which a lot of people do, this board is a really good board to check out because it's going to cover everything in everyday surfing. So not like, you know, your dream destination trip where it's just heaving, but it's going to cover, you know, East Coast, West Coast, pretty much anything you're going to get, and work in a variety of conditions. It's the Pyzel Nugget. Again, good all-around rangy hybrid, and the step-down baby brother to the Pyzel Shortcut. Check it out. If you have any questions, give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000, or look us up online, realwatersports.com/surfing.